What's up, manga fans? This is Rafael from C Manga, and I'm here to give you a review of this week's chapter of Hajime no Ippo 1052, Unable to Reach the World. So you can already tell from that chapter, this is not obviously a positive chapter for Team Kamigai. Things are turning for the worse for them, and more or less Ippo is getting massacred this entire chapter, which was obviously disappointing because we don't want to see more Ippo sandbag chapters, but this is what it was. The only thing about this chapter that was kind of good, first time I'm actually saying this, was it was short, because if it was going to be an entire 20 pages of Ippo just being slapped around in the ring, I just wouldn't want to read it. I'd just be frustrated. But no, it wasn't. It was only 11 pages, so it wasn't too bad. And another good thing is we got a time skip at the beginning, so we didn't see the entirety of round 4, which started last chapter. At the beginning of this chapter, round 4 had ended, round 5 had started. There was a bit of a skip of that as well, and then we were basically into the last 22 seconds of round 5. And as I said, it's pretty much the same thing. Ippo is trying to charge in, he's desperately trying to get in and tire Gonzalez, but he's being held back with calm lefts. He's getting massacred calmly by Gonzalez. He's controlling the pace, and this is all basically, as Miyata said, Ippo can't anticipate where the punches are going to come from, and this is something we saw in last chapter when he was hesitating to attack Gonzalez, because he was thinking, are they going to come from this? Is it going to be a punch I can't see? Is it a hook? You know, that's what ruined it for him. And so obviously his fallback plan is to basically ignore, you know, his hesitation and charge through, which Miyata said as well, compensate his hesitation by charging, which is usually useful to Ippo at national level. It's worked for him before, but against Gonzalez, someone who's, you know, a world ranker, number 2 in the world, had 2 title matches with, you know, the king, the El Diablo himself, this is not gonna work. This is child's play for Gonzalez. He's just eating this up and enjoying this, you might as well say, from calmly from a distance, just throwing jabs at him with pinpoint accuracy. They're all hitting their mark. They're angled, timed perfectly, and they're more or less counters. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that he's not following through, Ippo would be on the floor. So this is where I'm starting to think more and more about what Gonzalez's bad habit is. It's something Mashaba said in the chapter. Gonzalez is toying with Ippo, and this is something we've kind of seen in his behavior, and something Date mentioned. He's a dangerous, sadistic man. He's got some weird tendencies, violent nature inside of him. So I can imagine that this Metzil tagline is going to come out. The Aztec death god, I think it was translated that. He's going to come out and most likely stop being a more sloppy, aggressive, sadistic boxer. He's going to, you know, drag this out. He could end Ippo at any point, but he's not. And then it's going to be go into a punch and slugfest match, and most likely this is what will help get Ippo's comeback. And it's kind of stupid on Gonzalez's part to, you know, to do something like that, but I guess this is what his bad habit is. He tends to torture his enemies instead of just beat them down. It's like he enjoys it. He enjoys the sadistic nature. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. So that's all I can think, obviously, from obviously speculation from what Date said and his previous, you know, attitude that we've seen and emotions. So I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. It will turn around. It was kind of interesting to see Takamura's thoughts about Ippo. He said he's got a damn strong body, which we already know, and he can tell what Ippo's trying to do, wear out Gonzalez by moving forward, but it's not going to work. He knows that. Because Gonzalez is comfortable, he's fighting at his own rhythm, and a boxer fighting at their own rhythm is not going to tire, and that's what we're seeing. Ippo is the one that's actually getting tired and beaten around, and it was really sad because you could tell Takamura, you know, he's the comedian most of the time, and he's quite raw towards these things. He would be, you know, mocking and say, oh, you weakling. He actually had a solemn, depressed expression on his face. He looked upset for Ippo and Kamigai. He even said, sorry, old man, it looks like your bet isn't going to pay out. So, yeah, even Takamura's losing hope. Like, for him, like, to just go solemn like that and not actually feel a bit depressed was actually surprising to see. So, yeah, on to Kamigai himself. He's reminded in this fight of the Wally match, where he's thinking, when is the last time I've seen the kid get slapped around like that? He's getting torn apart. And he said the Wally match was similar to this. But obviously, like, he's thinking, okay, we know how that turned out. Ippo won on his advantage of having more experience, but this ain't gonna work. Like I said, with Gonzalez, he's got more experience than Ippo. He's fought at the world. He's got 2 title matches experience in the bag for him. So it's pretty much dangerous for Ippo right now. He's in a losing situation. Even Kamaga's like, what the hell are we going to do? And chapter pretty much ends there with a hook to Ippo's face. So really and truly, things are not looking good. This plan of attack is not going to work at the world level. I thought Kamaga would know a bit better than that, but with Ippo, he is kind of a one-trick pony, so there's only so much you can teach him. But I'm just wondering what they're actually going to do next time. The only thing I can think is Ippo still hasn't taken out one move out of his arsenal yet against Gonzalez, and that's the Dempsey roll. And I'm wondering if he's going to use the old or the new one. I think the new one will most likely be suited because Gonzalez is supposed to easily counter the old one. So hopefully he'll bring that out, and we'll see if that somehow turns the tables. But I definitely the Dempsey roll and Gonzalez's sadistic nature, the Aztec god or Metzu, if we want to call it, is probably what's going to change the tide in this match. So I'm thinking he's going to be dragged into a punching match by being, drawing it out and being sadistic, and then obviously Ippo might beat him with the Dempsey roll. So that's pretty much all I can think from now, because there's no way Ippo's going to win any other way. He's tried to use his stamina advantage to beat him, and it's not working. Gonzalez is controlling the pace. So that was more or less the chapter. Nothing else to say. As I said, it wasn't that great. It was kind of, as I said, it was a sandbag chapter, but it's interesting to read obviously the dialogue from characters like obviously Mashiba, Takamura, and Kamaga. So it just shows how dire the situation is. But anyway, as you know, the usual, if you guys got any opinions, predictions, or thoughts about this chapter, next chapter, leave them in the comment box below. And also, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video and you'd like to find more, subscribe to our channel for more content, and I'll speak to you guys in the next chapter.